Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Freakish Season 1 Episode 3. I haven't talked about this in a while. I haven't been able to rewatch it and stuff. I've been busy watching other stuff and just of course my everyday life, But anyway, I decided to review this episode instead of just doing the whole season review is because this is a very touching episode. It's very sad. And it primarily deals with the Mary character. Which of course, as you know, Mary Mouser is my favorite mouse. I think that's her name in this. Mary. God, I can't remember. Why did I name her after the real life actress? I would never understand. Anyways. The surviving students are very freaked out at the revelation of zombies, which they have now dubbed freaks, which is why the show is called Freakish. And so in the last episode, Mary gets bit by a zombie. I think she got bit by the Chachi zombie. And so Grover now knows, and he's sad because, and Mary, she is terrified because, the one dude came back in the school after he came back from the fog, and they don't know if he got bit or just by the fog. But anyway, she's worried because they know about zombies from movies, so they know when you get bit by a zombie, you turn into one. So she's scared she's gonna turn into one. Grover is doing his best to console her, telling her, this might not be like the movies. The people turned into zombies came from outside. She didn't breathe in the air, so she should be fine. But she's running a fever and she's not feeling very well. So he runs into not pharmacy, but the clinic place at the school. He's getting all the medicines he can. And Violet sees him and wants to know why he wants all this medicine for. And so he just tells her, I think he makes an excuse like allergies or something like that or something, but she don't really believe him. But she's making inventory of all they got, the food and medicine and stuff like that. I gotta say, what's really cool is that these kids, these teens, they're doing all they can to survive. Taking inventory of all their food supplies, keeping the doors shut, sealing off all the cracks and everything. It's pretty cool for a bunch of teens to do this and stuff, to be survivalists. So when it comes to Bennett, Barnett, or whatever his name is, he is still trying to get his radio to work and contact people, but he's being sneaky. He takes out a special component and he places it inside the radio, and he's now having contact with somebody. Don't know who it is, but he's having long conversations with that person, and he's not letting nobody know. And so, when it comes to Diesel and Natalie, Diesel oversees Natalie, taking food, stealing extra food. And he kind of gets on to her about that. Kind of why you stealing all the extra food for and stuff? And this is supposed to be for everybody. She makes an excuse talking about she has a low calorie intake. But he deduces that she's pregnant. And he asks her straight up, how far along are you? And she's 8 months. He's and then I'm surprised because he's the bully, but he's being sincere. He's all this ain't good and everything. You need real medical help and all this other stuff. And it's not safe with the zombies. He's really stepping up in the human department and being there for somebody else. And, he talks to her, he consoles her, and no, it's going to be okay. I'm very, very shocked by this. He's really surprised the crap out of me. And so, when it comes to Zoe and her boyfriend, he's running out of EpiPens, and he needs them bad. Now, when it comes to Mary, throughout this entire episode, Mary's acting very strangely. She's turning paler, she's walking slower, she's walking through the halls of the school because she knows that something's gonna happen to her and she does not want to die. She even tells Grover she doesn't want to die, And so she's starting to pick up certain enhancements, I guess you could say. Like her smell is a lot stronger. When she's talking to Natalie, she just talks to her all calmly. He's all like, "Hey, do you have any more of that like soup you was eating?" And she's all like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I smell soup." And she's all like, "Yeah, she ate it like a couple of days ago or something like that." And Natalie thought she was messing with her, but she could literally smell it on her breath, like really strong. Then, as she's walking through the school, we see Noodle, and he's playing with a hamster or a gerbil or something. Don't know why he's constantly playing with it, but he is. I guess he wants to be happy. So whatever. So Mary can smell the animal on his hands because he's playing with it, and that's what lured her to him. And talking about like, oh, I guess the things must be hungry or something like that. He's like, yeah, I guess so. And she's just giving him all strange looks as she's just looking at the gerbil thing. Then, as she's like walking around the school again, she meets Violet. And all of a sudden, her demeanor and attitude changes. When she looks at Violet, she just has like looks of anger, talking about, I know you, I know girls like you. And then she tells Violet, you use boys and everything and stuff like that. And then she walks up close and tells her, my brother likes you. Don't you hurt his feelings and everything. I think she even threatens to come after her if she does. But then she tells Violet, protect my brother, look after him. Don't you use him like you use all these other boys and stuff. And it's just like Mary is just like turning, man. Like just I'm not sure what's going on with her. One minute she's calm, one minute she's scared, now she's angry. And then we know she's turned into a zombie. Like you know it's gonna happen and stuff. And so at some point she starts to play the violin because she just wants to be like at peace and wants to be calm and everything and not think about it. And she loves her violin music. And as she's playing, as you know, when she's fingering the chords and stuff, she's noticing that her hands are now bleeding. Like every little thing, like her skin is so fragile now, you know? And the littlest thing can prick her finger and her skin and just makes her bleed. And she just staring, looking at her blood, at the fingers. And then she starts like licking her fingers and licking the blood off because she's getting that taste for blood. And so she wanders more around school aimlessly, and then she goes near like the door that's been sealed off, and it has windows to it, and she can see the zombies. Something is luring her to the rest of the zombies, almost like she can hear them telepathically and stuff. And so there's one just looking at her, and she just looks at him back, and she's constantly staring at him and staring into his eye because she knows that's what she's going to turn into and stuff. So at some point, Barnett, he is talking to his mysterious person, and in walks Mary, overhears him. He freaks out. He's like, crap. And then he tells Mary, it's not what you think. So he's chasing for her, looking for her. He's all down in the basement. And Mary is still slowly changing. I think she grabs onto him or something like that. By now, she's so pale, she's so sweaty, and she just doesn't look like herself. So of course, well actually before this happened, Violet went to him with an inventory list and told him that Grover took all these medicines. So she basically just ratted him out. And so he suspects something with Grover, but not sure what. And they alert all the rest of the kids. So like when Diesel and Zoe's boyfriend see Grover, they pretty much just gang up on him and start talking about, why you stealing all these medicines for, huh? Like what, like is everything supposed to be for you and not for us? And they really want to kick his butt just for stealing the medicine, because you know Diesel don't like him anyway. But then it's like when Diesel saw what's her name stealing the food, he didn't care. But when it comes to medical supplies, oh, he's the tough guy now. Did I mention that the actor who plays Diesel, Adam Hicks, is like in prison right now? Yeah, for being a real life Bonnie and Clyde. I don't understand it. Them Disney kids, man, I just don't understand it. So anyway, the big discovery that Mary is now zombifying herself is freaking out the school, the students, and they're debating now what they should do with her. Zoe's being a complete butthole and just talking about how we need to get rid of her and all this other stuff. And some of the other kids, like Natalie, they feel generally sorry for the girl. Like they don't want her to turn. And so so Mary's in the room tied down to a bed, and Grover's there, and he doesn't want to lose her because he don't know what happened to his parents, and Mary's the last family that he has, and Mary's in so much pain that she tells Grover just to kill her and everything because she just can't take it. But here's the thing. I think that's a little bit of overkill on the writing part for her talking about kill me. Like we see she's turning, but we don't see her actually in pain. We don't see her ache or nothing like that. So it's just kind of like a little bit of an overkill for them trying to be dramatic on the show. But oh well. So anyways, towards the end of the episode, we see Mary, and boom, she is now completely zombified. Face is all messed up, teeth all messed up, growling, snarling. She's ready to eat stuff, or eat people, I should say. And it's not like the greatest episode and stuff, but it's just one of the most touching one of all, especially what happens in the next episode. And it's just like, it's so sad. I was so sad to see her go. I'm like, not my mouse. And stuff. And it's just like, 'cause when it comes to this show, like I said before, it's low on zombie action. But whenever they do have zombies, it is, they make sure they make it like count. It's the interactions with the characters, it's the dialogue with the characters, it's how they're surviving, because they're a bunch of young kids trying to do the best they can with no adults in a zombie apocalypse, and that's what's so intriguing about this show. That wasn't that spooky. All right, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.